Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, you guys are getting ready for your trips over here. I'm so excited. It's that time of year when everybody comes over looking for properties. But I wanted to give you a little heads up. These are the top things you got to start thinking about long before you make your move over to Italy. Check it out. You got to look at visa and residency requirements. Now, for most of us, we can be in Italy for 90 days and then we have to leave for 90 days and can come back after another 90 days. And when you leave, you have to leave the Schengen area, meaning a lot of the EU, you have to leave completely and be out for 90 days before coming back. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Also, the elective residence visa, you have to apply for at your home consulate. You can't come over to Italy and try to get it done here. It's not going to work out that way. Now, for immigration, citizenship, all of those things, residency, we love Studio Legale Meta. They have gotten so many of our guys their citizenship and residency, and it's been relatively smooth. So we do recommend them. Another thing is learning Italian. Oh my goodness, that for some reason that just strikes fear into people's hearts. I can't learn Italian. Yes, you can. If you didn't learn a foreign language in school, it's because you weren't taught correctly. Now, recently, I got a bunch of our guys up and doing tutoring, which is the most effective method of learning a language. And if you're going to be moving over here, you need to know the language. You can't expect other people to translate for you. You're going to be lonely, even if you have a spouse or whatever that speaks the language for you. You got to get out and about and speak the language, or it's just not going to be as enjoyable either. So when people get tutors, I've seen them really come along. And it's one-on-one or two-on-one if you do a group class or whatever, but it's very effective. So get a tutor, learn the language, and come over and really enjoy the people and your neighbors. Another thing people ask a lot about is the cost of living in Italy. Well, I'll tell you, we're in southern Italy, and it's crazy cheap over here. Pete bought one of them giant cauliflowers yesterday, and it would be $3 if you could even find it. Probably you'd have to go to Whole Foods, so it'd probably be more than $3. He paid $1 for this giant head of cauliflower, and the Zampina sausage that we got for 2 people and Gigi was, I think, $2.50. So, $2.50. So really for about $4, including the onion, we had a fabulous meal, which is crazy. And when you go out, you can get pizzas for, $7, $8. Things have gone up here, but not that much. Coffee is inexpensive. The only thing that's equal to California is gas, and California is almost equal with Italy as far as gas prices, which is totally unheard of because gas has always been expensive in Europe, but now California is as expensive. But when we were back in California over the Christmas break, we were stunned at how much it cost, even for a bowl of pho. 2 bowls of pho and a Coke was like $40 for both of us. $40 here, you buy a king's meal. You get a feast here. So definitely know that the cost of living here is way less. Now up north, it's going to be more. If you're living in a city or around a tourist attraction, it's going to be more. But the key thing is, if you go just outside of the cities or outside of the tourist attractions, everything is so much cheaper. For example, in Cortona, everything is very expensive, but we have our architect who is in Florence, and she's got some places right around Cortona, little towns and villages, just as charming, just as beautiful, just as traditional, and they're a whole lot less expensive. So we're going to be exploring that too. Just know that generally, if you're living here, you're going to pay a lot less. Okay, the Italian lifestyle. Everybody's coming over for the Italian lifestyle. It is slower. It is enjoy the moment, enjoy each other, connection, memories, that kind of thing, the things that we all come to Italy for. Now understand, you're going to be living that. If you're used to everything being done immediately or yesterday, it might not happen that way. However, I haven't run into that too much. The bureaucracy, on the other hand, can be pretty wild. Everybody knows that. It's expected, and you can get people to help you with that. Italian healthcare, well, I can attest that it's fabulous and very inexpensive. I won't tell you how much I paid for my ankle. I don't have travel insurance, but I will tell you it would be less than the co-pays at Kaiser. In addition, you have some really great medical facilities over here. I know in Bari, they are doing state-of-the-art cancer treatment and new and experimental therapies and for tumors that are closer to the surface. And I think if I ever came down with a dread illness like that, I'd be all over that in Bari. There's a lot going on over there, and a lot of advances are being made. In addition, you saw my x-rays for my ankle. I really smashed it up, but good. but they, Frankensteined me back together and I'm doing fine. So don't be afraid of the healthcare here. It's actually quite good. Okay, Italian banking and finances. For a long time we didn't need an Italian bank account, and then all of a sudden something happened to where in order for us to get Wi-Fi, we had to have an Italian bank account. We're like, we don't have one. So Yvonne DeLuca is looking at it for us, and it looks like you can get an Italian bank account through Poste Italiane. And that's actually the post office. A lot of guys do their banking through the post office. So we're going to be updating you on that. In the meantime, go ahead and set up your Wise account. OFX is also good from what we hear, but we prefer Wise. You can send money transfers and things like that, and it's really quite convenient and good. Now, as far as the Wi-Fi goes and internet, we got a little hotspot. We charge it up every month and it works great. The nice thing about that, you don't have to pay for it when you're not using it. So it's another option, and they used to be so bad. I had a dongle once and it was just awful. They've come a long way, these hotspots, and they work great. So definitely check one out. Maybe get one as soon as you get to Italy and just charge it up every month. Transportation, very easy if you're in a place that's along the bus lines and along the train lines. Having a car is really no big deal. You can get a car if you're a resident here. Cars are very inexpensive. It's unbelievable how cheap they are. Insurance is about on par with California, but then every year that you don't have an accident, it gets less expensive. So there's a lot to be said for owning a car, although it is an expense. Now, you can get so many places on the trains that it really doesn't make sense to have a car if you're living like in Scalea near the train station or any of these other places near the train station. And if you need a car for the day, rent a car for the day. There's all kinds of car rental places in just about every little city. They're not necessarily always Hertz or Avis or whatever, but you can find one and you can rent it and you can get around. Buses and trains are very easy to handle, and I actually did a video on decoding the Italian train system. It's got a lot of traffic, so people are wondering about it. In any case, go check it out and you'll have a whole walkthrough on how to book your tickets and how to find your track and everything else. Another thing is cultural sensitivity, and this I've gone over and over and over. There's a lot of things in Italy that are not accepted as they are in America. For example, getting drunk and loud and rude or anything like that, are very, very frowned on. So my best advice, because I could sit here and tick off all the things that you don't want to do and all the things you want to look for, understand Italy in general is a community, and the community thrives on respect and caring for each other and community and family and things like that. When you get here, just look around you and see what is accepted among the local Italians. One thing you might see is kids running around in a restaurant. That's accepted. Whereas in California, kids don't really do that and people get upset. Oh my God, the kid's running around ruining my meal. Well, it's a family restaurant. If you don't want to have kids running around, you got to go to a restaurant that's not a family restaurant, maybe a higher end place or something like that. But my advice is look around, look at how people are acting, look what they wear, look what they're saying, look what they're doing, and try to emulate that as much as possible. It's a respect thing. We don't come over to a new country or a new area and try to make them like us. If we did that, why would we want to come here? We're all coming over for the community, for the beauty, for the art, for the architecture, for the food, for the culture. We don't want to change it. We want to come in and just be part of it. The last thing is patience and flexibility, and sometimes it's being patient with yourself. I've had so many people contact me, having a meltdown after they've moved here. They wonder if they made the right decision. They wonder if they're making the right decision. And the bottom line is, you're right on schedule. If you're having a meltdown after you moved here, you're right on schedule. We all do. I don't think there's one single person that hasn't looked at it and gone, oh my gosh, what have I done? That's normal. And, the bottom line is you just keep going. You made the right decision because you analyzed everything beforehand. And it's your dream. Sometimes dreams clash with reality a little bit, but that doesn't make them any less dreamy. It's just different. So my advice for that is look at what's happening in front of you. Let go of the image of the perfect life that you're going to come slide into and find, and everything's going to be fine and it's all going to be under the Tuscan sun. It's not going to be that way. There will be challenges and there will be days where you go, oh my God. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. I was just talking to a friend today and she said, I'm not brave. I said, yes, you are brave. You're still here. So there you go. Anyway, keep these things in mind and get going and get ready and come on over, because the people who do come over and they know what they're getting into and made the decision long ago are all loving it ultimately, even with the daily challenges. So we can't wait to see you guys. We're here when you get here. Take care.